All participants in my 600-pound life receive medical help while trying to reduce weight and keep it off through food and exercise. Weight loss surgery isn't a miracle option, as the show exposes. There's still a lot to be done, and all of this was made much more challenging by the fact that the folks we met on the show had some of the most harrowing stories. And today, we will look at some of them. So, let's roll. Robin McKinley.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm 1,000 in pain points right now.
The show's 7th season has so far featured many beautiful stories, but Robin stood out the most because her entire family was morbidly obese. Robin, who was no new to health risks, weighed in at a hefty 684 pounds. Her motivation for seeking medical advice was that she had lost her sister to obesity and didn't want to follow in her footsteps. She appeared on the show with her nephew and brother, both of whom were quite overweight. Robin was a school teacher in South Kansas who had to quit due to her weight, and she was wheelchair-bound as her weight had worn out her feet's cartilage, and she even told the audience that she was in excruciating pain since her knee ligament had ruptured as well. She came to Houston to change the course of her life, but reducing weight is not as simple as it might appear, as one must give up their entire lifestyle, which is not as easy as said. Despite this, she worked really hard to lose weight and was accepted for surgery. Nevertheless, she had a heart attack immediately before the procedure, but she eventually worked with Dr. Now to have bariatric surgery, and she weighed 394 pounds by the end of her episode. Robin McKinley appeared to be destined to continue on a healthy road after losing 42% of body fat.
But I've lost almost 250 pounds at this point, and I finally feel like I'm strong enough.
Zalyn Whitworth.
Felt like Miss America. I decided, whatever size I am, I'm just gonna be this size.
Whitworth was 42 years old and weighed 597 pounds when she first appeared on the show. She had a little daughter and desired to reduce weight so she could see her grow up. Whitworth admitted to the cameras that she was, quote, on the verge of death. Her weight may not have been totally her fault, despite the fact she now recognized eating as a coping method. Whitworth was in a terrible relationship, as viewers quickly discovered. Her husband appeared to be attracted to her size and refused to let her lose weight. At every point, he sought to sabotage her. His actions were so repulsive to viewers that many were outraged. Despite Gareth's bad influence, she lost enough weight to be eligible for gastric bypass surgery. Gareth took them to a fast food restaurant following her surgery, where he ordered things Zalyn couldn't eat.
We're inside of his heart. He must care.
There's something so right about putting bacon on food.
He also urged her to gain back the weight she had lost. She persisted, and by the end of the first portion of her journey, she had lost an astounding 248 pounds.
I realize this is a long journey, but I have to stay focused so that I can be healthy.
Candy and Brandy.
Know that it's getting close to our final days and our bodies are just breaking down.
Twins Brandy and Candy Dreyer's story was one of the most heartbreaking on the show. The sisters experienced a traumatic upbringing filled with neglect and abuse, prompting the young girls to turn to each other and food for solace in their turbulent lives. The women decided to make a change at 29 years old, with a total weight of over 1,000 pounds. For the majority of their lives, the sisters struggled with their weight. The twins had experienced maltreatment as a result of their parents' addictions, with their mother abusing alcohol and their father abusing and selling narcotics. If it wasn't awful enough, one of their parents' friends assaulted both girls. With their grief, the girls resorted to food for consolation, something their own families struggled to provide. They went to see famous weight loss surgeon Dr. Now to get back on track. Dr. Now gave Brandy the go-ahead to undergo surgery after she lost some of her weight. Candy's heart wasn't working properly, so she had to wait a long time before being authorized for surgery. Both girls need significant surgery in order to save their lives, but thankfully, Candy was able to keep on track on her own and was approved for surgery not long after.
Brandy and Candy both lost over 200 pounds, and I think they'll continue to do well.
Carlton Oglesby.
My sister's pretty much living the same life as me, right upstairs.
And I spend almost all of my time on the second floor.
Season 8, Episode 8 tells the story of two siblings, Carlton and Chantel Oglesby. When the siblings first met Dr. Now, Carlton weighed over 780 pounds, while his older sister Chantel weighed 638. Before appearing on the docuseries, the siblings lived in the same house, but their utter lack of movement made them effectively strangers, unable to go even a few feet into each other's rooms. Their food addictions were inspired by terrible childhoods in a tumultuous environment, as they both shared. Chantel even admitted that eating had become, quote, like a narcotic to me, and the only thing that could make her days better. Losing weight was not an easy task to begin with. The twins made the decision to relocate from Ohio to Houston, where they would work with renowned Dr. Now. Chantel was in such discomfort by the fourth day of the trip that Dr. Now had to travel to meet her at a hospital. After a rocky start in which they both failed to lose enough weight to be considered for the weight loss operation, they began to make great progress, each losing a bit more than 130 pounds. They continued to lose weight after the operations. Carlton lost 243 pounds and Chantel lost 215. But more importantly, both were able to overcome some of the demons that had led to their dangerous weight gain and began living better and happier lives.
You're on the right track and making good progress. That's great. That sound good?
That definitely sounds good. Thank you.
Samantha Mason.
You're strong enough. You got this.
Samantha Mason was one of the show's most noteworthy patients. As a fetish model, she exploited her unusual stature by eating on camera for paying viewers. Although this provided her with money and confidence, her lifestyle led to a rapid weight gain, prompting her to seek medical care. Samantha Mason was over 800 pounds when we first saw her on the show, and she claimed that she was, quote, previously 950 pounds at some point. Samantha released a video later that year revealing she had undergone surgery and lost a whopping 320 pounds after her episode was aired. Her procedure required a 6-foot incision and 80 pounds of dead tissue was removed. She weighed 114 pounds less when she left the hospital than when she arrived.
Your life is more important than food.
Before we go on to the last tragic story on our list, we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's video, as well as if you have any other favorite shows that you'd like to see on our channel. David Nelson.
Back hurts, my knees hurt, my feet hurt. The only thing that keeps me going is all the food we just bought.
When we originally met David Nelson in season 10, he was at a moment in his life where his huge size was affecting his mobility as well as his overall health. That went far beyond chronic back and muscle discomfort, especially because he needed the assistance of a CPAP machine just to sleep. Unfortunately, it all started when David was a small boy. Food became his only actual source of true consolation as a result of the trauma of never having a secure home or even caring adults. David's mother was a drug addict who gave birth to him when she was just 13, and his father was nowhere to be seen. And poor David was thrown into foster care. Because there was always the potential of not being fed again for days, David learned to eat as much as he could at any given time. At the age of 6, he was adopted by the Nelsons, who turned out to be violent as well. His father would beat him with a belt, and his mother once slapped him so hard that he broke his nose. David's struggle with cellulitis almost killed him, serving as the ultimate wake-up call. As a result, he reached out to Dr. Now for some much-needed assistance. At the time, he weighed in at 763 pounds. He lost roughly 68 pounds in just a few months after starting the program and was promptly authorized for surgery. The requirement at the time was for David to lose another 30 pounds and relocate to Houston. However, when he returned to the 730s, circumstances changed, and Dr. Now had no choice except to cancel his surgery.
I'm stuck.
Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.